welcome to KHC Couples Devotional for the 17th day of July 2021. And today's topic is, Dear couples, where are you hiding? Husband and wife are meant to be vulnerable to each other. They are meant to be naked and not ashamed. They are meant to be transparent to one another, open to each other in every sense of the word. When God first introduced marriage, that was a pattern and model created. Genesis 2 verse 25, and they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. I believe this state of being naked and were not ashamed is a state of openness, oneness, and transparency, being totally vulnerable and open to each other. They, however, didn't reach this stage at once. It was a progression. Genesis chapter 2, verse 23 to 25. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Verse 25. And they were both naked, and the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Eve was first bone of his bones and flesh of his flesh. And then the second stage was that they shall become one flesh. Because the man shall leave his father and mother and cleave unto her. The question now is, how do they cleave? There must be a leaving before there is a cleaving. It is this stage of living and cleaving that brings about the vulnerability and transparency. This state of living father and mother is approaching your marriage with completely new ideologies and not bringing any expectations influenced by where you are coming from. Approaching marriage from an entirely new perspective, not influenced by your mother and your father. This may seem not possible, but it is a state of mind. You don't compare your wife to your mother. There is a severing from them in order to build an entirely new family, built on principles ordained by God. When this leaving has occurred, then there must be a cleaving. Each couple is in either one stage or the other. Some couples don't ever get through past living stage. They struggle all their lives with trying to live. Every negative thing you have ever learned from your father and mother must be laid down if your marriage must move to the cleaving stage. The cleaving stage is where two destinies, purposes, ideologies, principles, temperaments, finances beautifully merge together. Your wife is entirely a new person in your life, and your husband is an entirely new person in your life. You have to approach your marriage like that. This cleaving stage is most important. The more you cleave, the more you become naked and not ashamed. And the more naked and not ashamed you are, the more you cleave. In your marriage, there's no need to hide. You can't hide from your own skin, from your flesh. Your marriage is you, and you are your marriage. That is really what matters when the chips are down. Focus on the cleaving aspect of your marriage if you want to be naked and not ashamed. God bless your marriage. Confession for the day. I have spiritual understanding of my marriage covenant. Prayer for the day. Lord, help me to cleave to my husband or wife. Thoughts for the day. Genesis chapter 2 verse 25. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Action plan for the day. Work on cleaving to your own spouse.